More stories, horror stories of Amway.
So I think this would probably be the last amount of information I would have to give now that we've had a few weeks to process everything. I think that we've gotten it about all out of the system.
How do you feel? How do you feel, honestly, knowing that the first came a few days ago and you didn't have to spend $500 frivolous on energy drinks and soap?
Well, I still have a lot of granola bars.
Where your brain come, motherfucker?
No, it was the being able to go to the store and not feel guilty that I didn't talk to somebody and drop my story. Which what is your story anyway? Hey, I'm a guy that's reading some books who's completely desperate for any amount of money or opportunity I can get. How are you?
Are you interested in the same thing? Or perhaps are you in the same boat?
Would you like to learn about passive income that isn't really passive?
Not at all. The only thing that's going to pass you by trying to make this income is your time and your friends.
So, man, it's been nice to wake up and do the one thing that it did help is these daily habits, because I did those things the way that we were supposed to do them. And I knew that in that day, I needed to get these 3, 4, 5 things done.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it, but it's my stuff. Yeah. And now I know that I can't sit around going, well, I can't do nothing, or I don't have time for this. Or it's like, no, if I could read for that, if I could write for that, and I could take the time to do that, I could sit down and write a joke. I can write 10 pages on a script. I can shoot the content I need to do. I can edit the things I need to edit. There is time in the day to do all the things I need to do for myself.
Absolutely. We all get the same 24 hours. So, we probably mentioned in previous videos, it was one perk of the Amway mentorship thing, and that was it. It will help you get your time, your time management together. That was one good perk, but the rest is some bullshit. So,
and we still ain't smoked nothing. I ain't smoked nothing.
Nah, me neither.
Yep, still ain't smoked.
Around it every day, but ain't really had the urge because I like dreaming again. I like getting a full 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I like, outside of that, getting up to pee because my age, but I still can go right back to sleep. I don't have any anxiety anymore. Like,
I don't have that. I walked around and I didn't even realize it until the weed haze had lifted, of how much of a haze and a fog, especially in the morning, that I would wake up with, where it's just
yeah, bro.
It's just there's no better word than fog.
Yeah. So I look at it like this: I spent the money that I spent dealing with Amway. That was just me paying to go to rehab, basically. I was paying for my own personal rehab. That's pretty much what I did.
We needed a wake-up call.
Yeah, that was. Thank you, universe. I appreciate you on that, but
so I
don't miss none of the other shit. I don't.
I get, my whole thing would be with these, 4 videos that we did would be if one person listened and made them think, and even if you decide to go ahead and do it, God bless you. And if anyone goes from having zero money in their account to then making $1,500, $2,500 in their account doing this system, please let us know
consistently. Now I ain't talking about you know, the sun shines on the dog ass once a day, or however the saying goes. We're not talking about you get January, you hit 2,500 and then you struggling all the way up to fucking May. No, that's not what we're talking about.
We're talking about Q12.
Yeah, when you hit that level, like, please inbox us. We might join your team. Psych, I'm talking shit. But
well, the thing was, it was once I went core that first time, because in my mind as a salesperson, I'm thinking the majority of this is going to be based around building customers and how to sell the products. And the products were legit. So it made sense to me because it was a lot of word of mouth. You use the product in front of people, you give some to people, and they ask where you got that, and then you try to sell them. It was kind of a noble way to sell, for lack of a better word. But then you get in it, and then they tell you got to go core, you got to go core, you got to go core, your mom's a whore. You got to go core, you got to go core, you got to go core, your mom's a whore. they really push it down on you. You feel all this pressure. Okay, well, to go core, it's 150 PV. It's about I think I dropped $561.
Yeah, about $550.
And I went core, and I expected this thing, and I know that it's not immediate.
And all you got was a picture and a congratulations with a Canva photo that said, "Congratulations, Austin King, first time going 150 PV."
But it doesn't matter, because I'm the whole time I was like, yeah, but this ain't a sale, because it didn't come from external income.
Right.
It came from myself.
Right. And then you get what? It's $1 off of every 3 points or 3 or 4 points. So you do 150 PV, you spend $550, and you get a check for like 30-something bucks.
It's something like that. But I started thinking, I was like, hold on a second. In order to actually make a lick, in order to make an extra $500 or something, I would need
A bunch of customers.
20 of me's.
Right.
For this to make 20 of me spending $500 a month. And even then, that ain't really enough. So I got to have 20 separate text groups.
Right.
I got to go to 20 different meetings.
Yeah.
I have to make sure 20 people, hey, good morning. Good morning. Here's an inspirational quote.
Who's fired up?
I have, like, this is not what I thought. The reality is starting to set in really quickly. And it's not even about it being easy or whatever. It's like, the shit's just lame.
I have to speak on from the standpoint of actually I had a few customers. You know, my dad would buy stuff. My buddy in Macon, shout out Vasco, he would buy stuff, the energy drinks. The problem is, a lot of people don't want to sign up for auto ship because the problems that can be associated with trying to get your card taken off and it keeps sending you stuff. So it makes you stay in this follow-up position. You know what I mean?
Constantly.
And you have to damn near keep a spreadsheet or a calendar as to when somebody's products would run out so you can hit them up. And you just kind of turn into a pest a little bit. You know what I mean? Or you have to keep figuring out ways to like reinvent how you get customers, you know, because I started my guy in Macon. I started him off. He got the energy drinks, and then he ordered a few cases, and then like he started ordering. So I'm like, oh well, let me take him some popcorn. Let me take him some. But like, who finna keep driving all these places and wasting more time trying to build customers? Like, it's too hard, and you got to make so much money. You got to have 7,500 points to really make a substantial amount of income. That's a lot of points when we telling you 150 is gonna cost you $500.
And then, so again, in sales, when you're at a brick and mortar store and you're selling one product, your entire day is based around learning that product and how to make it make sense to someone who would need it and or want it.
Right.
It was almost like there was no sense of urgency or care about if you got customers. And then when you start looking at it, and it's like, yeah, because you are the customer.
Yeah.
You and you getting more people like you, the household is the customer. So it helps you when you can go and get external sources to help you cover your ditto or do those things. And again, this doesn't apply to people who have money, because again, I think it's another way for them to launder money.
Oh, yeah.
But when you don't have to worry about money, you can just drop this and then you look at your bonus check and then look at whatever you have to look at for it to make sense. But when you're already living paycheck to paycheck and that $500 hits, it's like,
but
none of this is making sense.
That's how they keep the scam going, because the people who are successful, they can just be customers because the products are good. Think about it. So if you successful, you making six figures or however good you're doing, you can order the lotions and you can order those things for consumption to use at home. But when you are, they telling you, you go and convert people's households, and that'll be easy. But when you scraping by, barely living check to check, that's why all the motivation and all the love bombing and all of that stuff kind of comes in and just massages your shoulders with one hand, and then they sticking their other hand in your pocket, pulling your wallet out. That's how they
do
get
hit you with that love bombing.
Oh man, they make you, and like, they prey on people who are like insecure, or like, might not have friends, or might be in a vulnerable space. And I'm none of those. So I was like, bro,
it got annoying.
Yeah, because it's like, y'all don't have to just, it's a big circle jerk. You know what I mean? And nobody's coming but the guy that's at the top. Like, the Magic Indian is the only person who's getting a release. Everyone else is just circle jerking each other.
All the time. It's like,
and they use the love bombing to essentially manipulate you, because let's just say you are a person who don't have a lot of friends, or you're not used to recognition. Like, y'all see these certificates and shit. I've been getting recognition all my damn life. I am used to it. But take somebody who's not used to that, and you pump them up and you make them feel a certain way because they achieved this level, or they did these meetings or whatever. Now they're going to continue to chase that because, it feels good, It feels good to be recognized amongst your peers and people who you actually might look up to. But then if you don't do what they need you to do, they take it away.
Well, but it just gets really cheesy when you're just sitting in a meeting with a bunch of grown adults and somebody's like, I made 3 calls today, and everybody's like, way to go. Oh my God.
Who's
fired up? You're so amazing. Like, they're just making such a big deal. And it's like, bro, I have called phone books of people trying to sell a motorcycle before.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't shit.
Right.
What did you sell?
Right. Yeah. That used to get annoying.
It just, to me, and it was like, oh, well, this is just another means of the psychology of it, is that you just are constantly building this foundation of reward and praise to and somebody who gets addicted to that, well, and in other videos people talk about it like they did get addicted to that. And then they felt like that if they didn't keep it up, then they were letting somebody down.
Right. I never felt that way.
No.
I never once felt that way, because it was in the 6 months that I was in it. It was a couple of months when I couldn't make ditto, but I'm looking at things from a realistic standpoint. I'm like, am I going to order these products, or am I going to pay my insurance? I'm going to choose my insurance, because if I get pulled over, I can't go, officer, hey, I don't have car insurance, but you want some snacks?
Would you like this berry granola bar?
Right. Nah, so, But I understand, like, how they use the manipulation tactics. Like, I get it, man. And I'm not trying to say people that are in these mentorship programs are weak-minded, but it's more like everyone is not, but it's some people that are. And I think it's a
slow creep.
Yeah. But I used to get annoyed with some of that love bombing, because it would be every Tuesday we had these meetings that if you didn't go to this meeting, they made you feel like you were the scum of the earth.
It was bad.
And it would just be, it starts with like a 20-30 minute circle jerk where everyone's just, all right, well, who did 10 meetings this week? Me. Who did 5 meetings? Me. Where you from? How'd you do it? I talk to people. And then after that, it's just, you got to listen to these same speeches. You got to listen to these same people tell their story. And at the end, if you had done a certain amount of meetings, or if you had a certain amount of legs or IBOs up under you, you had to stay. They was like, all right, well, everyone else, good night. If you got 3-6, then you can stay on, and we're going to talk another 2 hours about nothing.
Yeah, and one big thing
I used to be like, I don't never want to be 3-6.
No, it's 11 o'clock at night, right, and we're still talking about this.
Yeah, bro.
So, and one big thing, and I knew, I envisioned it, because my process, we were going through it, and it started to get rushed because there was an Orlando meeting coming up, which is the mecca for Amway. That's the
bukkake.
That's
the regular meetings are the circle jerk. This is the full out orgy.
This is the full on orgy. And my vetting process was lining up to where I would get done right in time to go to Orlando, and they were trying to get it done to make that happen. And it was, I don't know, it was like the weekend of, it was like a Thursday. And then we got everything done, and then they sent me the offer, and I was like, cool. And then it was like I was going to have to drop about $600 for the tickets, for my first order, and all this stuff. And I had just gotten a credit card in the mail, and I was looking at my account. I was like, man, if I drop $600 on this, I'm going to be real tight.
You're going to be eating peanut butter and jelly
for a minute. And I was like, all right, well, I'll just put it on. I'm just going to give this a try because I didn't want to let you down. Because we went through all this together. I'm going to give it a try. We'll try this opportunity. But in my mind, I was thinking about this conference. Because I've been to these types of things before. It's going to be another big circle jerk.
Oh,
it's gonna feel more real because we're all there in our suits and ties and we're at a conference thing. But I was not prepared for the pomp and circumstance of all of it.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was so many people. And then you get there and you see the stage and and they play the same shitty techno EDM. The white guys are on the stage dancing. Then everything's set. There's a bunch of Indian people over here for some reason, and then we had our crew in the back. And there's like five white people, and then the rest are on stage. And you just, in my mind, because I'm such a cynical person, I'm just like, this is like part of my brain was like, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be. It's the bullshit. And then they start bringing up the people on the stage. And one thing that really gravitated to me about it was the transparency of everyone having the goal of wanting to quit their job. Because this system here in this country, jobs are just so bad and so life-sucking that it was refreshing to hear a bunch of adults
with the like mind
being like, fuck a job, man. Like, let's do this because jobs suck.
Right.
And then you have like this, you have these people that can barely speak English up there that are like, I quit my job. Like, I have this many people. I quit my job. And I was just like, I felt like I got turned into like...
He was fired up!
Yeah, I got fired up. And I turned into like an optimistic redneck where I was like, look at that!
That shit funny, bro.
She quit her job too. I can do that. I mean, I'm a white man. I can speak English. I mean, she can do it barely speaking English. I can do it too. And then they're up there handing a $40,000 check for this. Like, look, I can speak. They got a check for speaking. I can do it. And you just start thinking in your mind like, well, this is a lot of people that are quitting their jobs doing this shit. Maybe there's something to it. And maybe there is, but I do not, for the amount, I just don't know how the juice could be worth. And I understand that their counterpoint would be, yeah, but you're going to work a job for 60 years. And it's like,
yeah, but at least I'm guaranteed to get paid if I work that job.
I'm not paying to work.
Right. That is yes. That is what at the end of the day takes it from you're not a business owner.
And it's not even a side hustle.
No, it is the hustle. The only difference, this is just like Cutco, those damn knives, pretty much. Remember, everybody? It's like you riding around.
It's like all of them.
It's like the guy that comes to your house and he's got meat on his truck for sale. Yeah. It's the same thing with just now they've advanced to products that people are using more on a day-to-day basis.
And
everyone is in the health and wellness. Everybody likes the energy drinks now. So that's the only difference. And then the mentorship. So again, even though Amway is probably in on this shit because they know what's going on.
They know.
You can sign up for Amway without none of the mentors.
You can.
And if you want to do that, fucking inbox me. I'll send you the books. I'll fucking make you a video of what to do. Like, it's not that hard. My shit is expires at the end of the month, and I might sign up for another year. It's $76.
You can have that.
Yeah, I'm probably not, but yeah.
So let's talk about, the last thing is the getting out. And I was not because I had went to Miami, and that whole week, because of the things that had happened with the Magic Indian, with the
we gotta talk about Circle 6 though before we go.
Oh yeah, well, okay. So yeah, well, let's talk about Club 6.
We can edit.
I'm not editing it. It'd be too much to mix and match. So Club 6. So Club 6 was similar to. It's another one of those events.
Yeah.
It's another one of. It's almost like, because I made it to Builder Circle.
Right.
And so real quick on the Builder Circle, and then we'll talk about the Club 6. Is Builder Circle is if you go core and then you did all your Masawas. And then you have, I think, or you launched a leg.
There's a couple ways to qualify.
Yeah, but it's like this funnel to get you close to your mentor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You should always be wanting time to get with your mentor. So I'm excited. I qualified. Then we found out later that I didn't actually qualify. But I'm excited because I think I'm going to get to this meeting because it's at his house.
You finessed.
And I think that I'm going to get access to all this new information, and it's going to be this, this is how the sausage is really made. This is what these people are really doing. This is how you really make headway in this business. And you get there, and then you go, this is the same conversation that we are always having.
Oh, man. It's like you staying with the same chick, but every month she just switches her hair or starts wearing wigs. It's the same, but she's still bored in bed. She still lies. She still don't cook. She still, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing.
It's the same interracial couple talking about, well, we talk to this many people instead of watching Netflix. We go and we just talk to people. Okay, but what are we doing?
Yeah. It's to keep you. Now that I'm clear-headed and out of it, it's the longer they can keep you occupied with the bullshit, the less time you have to realize you are in a fucking cult. That is the thing. If we keep you occupied, you will not realize. You won't wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah. So he was talking about Builder Circle. So Circle 6 is like
Club 6.
Club 6 is it was like the next step up. If Builder Circle was on the first floor, Club 6 was on the second floor, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they want you to do 6 meet and greets, 6 MG1s. They don't have to go to an MG2. Just get 6 people in front of your mentor so they can hear the message, and you will qualify for a dinner, right? So when I first heard of it, I like to eat. And I especially like to eat on somebody else's dime. So I'm like, they're like, yeah, we take out the people, we take whoever qualifies, we go out to eat. At first I heard it was like Fogo de Chao, like a nice steak dinner or something. And then as the weeks went by, the shit started gradually changing. It went from Fogo de Chao to, we're going to make food at the house and just invite everybody over. I'm like, okay, I'm still with that, not out my pocket. And then it went to, by the time I actually qualified, we're going to meet at this pizzeria in Johns Creek. I'm like, first of all, I'm lactose intolerant. Second of all, I don't want to drive way to Johns Creek for some pizza. You know how many Fellinis and places I leave by, passing by? So we get there, Austin, and I had to buy my own food, bro. Just to buy my own food, listen to a bunch of circle jerking, and go over to the Magic Indian's house at the end of the night and listen to more
of the same circle jerk.
Of the same. It was just, she had on a different wig that night. That was pretty much it. And I think that started to become like, I started at that dinner, at that pizza gathering, I started to kind of see some of the fakeness that was surrounding the team, the business, because I was the first person that got there from our team. Everyone's tied to the Magic Indian, but it's different teams within that. And so the other team, it was more of them, and I knew a few of those guys, so they was welcoming, when I came. But some, like, as other people from their team started coming up, it started turning into like, we're with them. Who are you with? You know what I mean? It's just like, bruh, we all making the Magic Indian rich. Like, we all are getting pimped essentially. So How big is the slap, the forehand? I mean, the slap to the back of your head. Let's see your scars. You know what I mean? And it was at that dinner, man. I was just like, what have I gotten myself into?
Well, you just start seeing like there's no real talk and any kind of questioning. And this was one thing that I peeped on, and one reason why I eventually left was I'm down to listen and to follow someone if they can give me reasons like for me. And I mean, you can say I'm wrong or not, but like me and my mom had issues when I was growing up because I can't just give you respect when you are openly not doing the things to help the household. Like, you ain't working, you're not doing the things around the house. Now, obviously, those are complex reasons or whatever, but at that age, I was just like, I have a job.
Right.
I'm paying the power bill.
Right.
Like, I can't, I'm
Who
not going to...
Who are you to tell me to go to bed?
Yeah, like, I can't listen to you when you're not, that respect was off. Because it's like, you... And maybe I'm wrong, but I just because you demand something, I have to see a tangible way.
You got to practice what you preach.
Right.
Yeah, you got, at the end of the day, like, every job I had, and it could be the shittiest job, but if I had a manager or a boss that would get in the trenches with us, I would work respect for him. I would, you fucking go to bat for that guy. But it's the person that just wants to sit in their office and let me know when it's done. Like, bitch, what? Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what a lot of this started to feel like. So I know exactly what you mean. It's just like, dude, are you serious? We got to come to another meeting to hear the same shit.
And if you presented any kind of question or any kind of any kind of question that was really specific, they live in the land of generalities. Everything is so general that the advice is like, well, just, if you're having a bad day, just think about good things. And you're just like...
it's toxic positivity. It's like they don't want you to be human. They want you to dumb all your emotions down and focus on this pipe dream that they've essentially... It's like they dangled this carrot and he's just walking down this hallway, and it eventually will lead you off of a cliff, because no matter what happens in that day, you could be like, bro, I'm behind on my rent, man. I can't do core. I'm going to get evicted. And they'd be like, well, figure it out.
You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, you're an entrepreneur. And if you got to sleep in your car for a while and, like, maybe that's what you need. Be like, no, the fuck it ain't. It's the wintertime. Bitch, I need some heat. Like, what are you talking about? And so it's like anytime they didn't want you to admit when life was lifing. You know what I mean? It was just like, stay positive. Oh, my business isn't working. I'm 3 months in. I haven't made any money. I haven't got any customers. Well, you need to read more. You need to trust the system. Huh? I'm looking at the facts.
And some of those principles are good. That, the shutting off your emotions to things, the working a system and keeping your head down. There is some positivity to that. But when it is take your money and give it to us because down the road it's going to pay off, to me it was just like, this is too vague of a plan.
Yeah.
This is too... I feel like you're wanting me to be too responsible for the income of this, when we should be looking about how we can drive customers. But it's not they don't really care about customers. They care about you staying committed to it.
To the system. And then out of all of those Tuesday meetings, it was one that I logged off. Because even the girl I was dating at the time, like, she would be sitting next to me sometimes listening while I'm on the meeting, and when it would end, she would be like, what were they talking about? And I'd be like, I don't know. And I tried to get her involved, and she told me one day, she was like, I don't want to. But what's crazy? She had told me, she was like, I read too much negativity about that, but I was drinking the Kool-Aid at the time. I'm like, no, it's gonna be all right.
You can't listen to the internet,
right? But the one meeting that we did, when they actually went through the products and people gave testimonials about how things was working, that was kind of productive. But then they started spewing false claims.